Liverpool stunned the footballing public in December when they decided to sign Red Bull Leipzig's Japanese sensation, Takumi Minamino. It was a move that nobody, not even the reputable papers, saw coming. However, Liverpool have been tracking Minamino for a while, and today we will discover everything the Reds knew about the Japanese before signing him. So, let's get started. Just like many other Japanese children, Takumi Minamino caught footballing fever back in 2002. And why 2002, you ask? Well, Japan and South Korea hosted the World Cup in 2002. But it wasn't just any World Cup. This one featured all superstars from the 90s, with Brazil as the frontrunners in the number of stars on their team. And just like everyone else, just a 7-year-old Minamino was stunned with Ronaldo Nazario de Lima and his ease of playing football and dominating. Even though he was just a small boy, not even fully aware of the world, Minamino knew what he wanted to be in life, a footballer. As soon as he started going to school, Takumi also started playing football. He featured at a very young age for the local Cecil Kumaturi. However, that wasn't the only football-related activity for Minamino. Even outside of trainings and matches, the young boy would train with his older brother, Kenta Minamino. Their dad, who was also a major football fan, would place cons and create innovative training sessions in their backyard so the youngsters could improve in skill and speed with the ball. This obviously gave a lot of positive results. Minamino joined Cerezo Osaka, one of the biggest clubs in Japan, at just 12 years old, becoming a part of their reputable academy. He would impress in youth ranks for Cerezo. However, his real breakthrough arrived when Minamino played in Japan's Under-15 Club Youth Football Championship. Leading his team, he scored 8 goals, becoming the top scorer of the tournament. Minamino's potential was clearly there. He would go on to win the Prince League Kasai with Cerezo's Under-15 squad, and that was when the club realized that they had something serious on their hands. They followed it up by moving Minamino to the Under-18 team. He was just 16 at the time, but the youngster wasn't bothered by his age. Playing against stronger and older boys, he quickly established himself as the team leader, even ending up as the 4th best scorer in an Under-18 tournament. Just about a year later, in 2012, Takumi Minamino made his senior debut for Cerezo Osaka. At just 17 years old, he was one of the youngest ever debutants for the club, proving that his talent could actually translate into a professional footballer capable of doing great things. Minamino officially became a full-time senior squad member in 2013 when he also became the club's first academy player ever to play in the first game of the season. And while many players would have been content with just playing for the first team, Minamino wanted more. Thus, he became the club's youngest ever J1 League goal scorer when he found the net against Jubilo Iwata on July 7, 2013. He was just 18 at the time, and he took Japan by storm with his combination of speed, positioning, and a feel for the ball like only few before him had in the J1 League. It was shortly afterward that Minamino gained some worldwide attention. Manchester United were playing friendly matches in Japan as the Red Devils were preparing for the 2013-14 season, the first after Sir Alex Ferguson retired as their manager. David Moyes took over, and playing against Cerezo Osaka, he could not notice a special Japanese youngster. Takumi Minamino scored a screamer from about 20 yards out, leaving United's Anders Lindegaard with no chance to defend it whatsoever. Even the United manager at the time, David Moyes, praised Minamino specifically after the match ended. The rest of the 2013 season wasn't as impressive for Minamino as he suffered a harsh medial collateral ligament injury, which took him out of action for almost 2 months. He ended the 2013 season by scoring 8 goals in his first full year with the senior squad, announcing big things for the future. And big things would come for Minamino, but not for his team. They participated in the Asian Champions League in 2014, where Minamino also scored, but it took away too much focus from the domestic J1 League. The season ended tragically for Cerezo Osaka, with the club getting relegated to the 2nd division. However, Minamino had a lot to learn as he formed a striking partnership with none other than Diego Forlan himself. Forlan remains as one of the best Uruguayan strikers ever, confirmed by him winning the Golden Boot in the World Cup in 2014. This meant that most of the better players left the sinking ships, and Minamino was one of them. There wasn't a shortage of offers either. Many European clubs tracked the Japanese winger for a while, but Red Bull Salzburg were the first to react. The signing made sense for both sides. Takumi Minamino was lightning fast going forward, direct with the ball, and deadly on counterattacks, which went hand in hand with Salzburg's philosophy of playing concrete attacking football without much hesitation. Minamino's work rate was a big factor too. The young talent didn't save himself in the defensive tasks and helped out his team a lot by constantly tracking back and actively participating in the defensive part of the game. And as it would turn out, Minamino was everything Salzburg could hope for, and even more. Takumi Minamino spent 4 years at Salzburg as he signed for the Austrian powerhouse on January 7th, 2015. He made a big impact while playing there. Just like Minamino, Salzburg as a club was rising day in, day out. Minamino helped Salzburg win 5 consecutive league titles and left the club at the top of the Austrian league yet again. The best season by far arrived in 2017-18 when Salzburg got all the way to the Europa League semifinals, where they faced Borussia Dortmund. Minamino himself scored 2 goals in that European campaign, second of which was a decisive goal in the first leg against Lazio. The team eventually lost to Marseille in the semifinals, but it was a sign of things to come for Salzburg and Minamino. And if the 2017-18 season showed that Minamino can, in fact, play in the best European competitions, the season after solidified his status. Takumi scored against Celtic in the group stage of Europa League just to add a hat-trick against Rosenborg later on. This put him in the Europa League Team of the Week. The European showings launched Minamino's popularity in the sky at Japan, who are always craving big new talents coming out of their country. The Japanese people found him wherever he played, but the player loves the attention. Yeah, that is really unbelievable. No matter where we play, there are always Japanese families there after the match who want to talk to me. I really appreciate that, and I am delighted that I have so many fans. Perhaps it is because Japanese people love to travel so much. The rest of the 2018-19 season wasn't that big for Minamino, who ended the season with 14 goals in all competitions, thus proving that despite the scoring not being his primary task, he could do that with ease. The 2019-20 season was the key one for Minamino. Salzburg went through the qualifiers, playing in the Champions League group stage. The odds were stacked against him. Liverpool and Napoli looked too strong for Salzburg to even have a chance. However, Minamino proved to be almost unstoppable, causing problems left, right, and center, especially against Liverpool. He almost knocked his current team out of the Champions League, where he looked like the best player on the pitch in a match that Liverpool barely won, which they needed to go through. Perhaps the reason that Liverpool were attracted by Minamino's footballing skill was his adaptability. No matter what the team needed, the energetic Japanese filled in various positions, completing his tasks to perfection. Jurgen Klopp loves these types of players, as proven by his attacking trio of Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Firmino. Minamino is the exact same type of player, although he will need some time to get to their level. It's no coincidence that Liverpool lurked around Salzburg for their latest signing either. Both Naby Keita and Sadio Mane played in Salzburg earlier in their careers, providing a channel for Liverpool scouts to look into. Not only that, but Minamino adapts quickly off the pitch as well. He speaks fluent German after spending 5 years in Austria, but he also speaks good English, provided by his earlier education in Japan. According to many Japanese sources, Minamino could fit into the Liverpool dressing room with his character. Friends talk about a lighthearted guy with a sense of humor. His lack of ego will be very important too, because Klopp values the dressing room culture more than anything else. And here's a little nugget about Minamino that you'd never guess is true. He is in the Guinness World Records book. That's right, the Japanese holds the bizarre record for the most high fives, making 187 of those in a minute as he ran through the Kamagawa shopping street. And just like many other players, much more than getting into the Guinness World Records book, Minamino always dreamed of wearing one of the Premier League Giants shirts. Not just any Premier League club, but Minamino actually dreamed of ending up at Liverpool. Back in 2015, he was interviewed as they asked him about his dream next destination. In a funny twist of fate, Minamino replied by saying, "The Premier League, because Klopp moved to Liverpool. I want to go to Liverpool." Both of them speak German, which should further smoothen things up for Minamino's adaptation to the squad. Klopp was thrilled with his new signing, to say the least. He spoke very highly of Takumi. "This is fabulous news. A wonderful signing. We are really happy about this. Our supporters have had the chance to see him close up recently, so I don't need to sing too loudly about his qualities, as they are already known. Takumi is a very quick, very clever player. He finds space between the lines. He is brave with the ball, but also brave without the ball. A proper team player. He makes the best of himself for the benefit of others. His Champions League experience is a big bonus, and coming from the club and organization he does, we know he'll be well coached, used to an elite environment, and had all the right experiences. It is fantastic work by our football operations team and how they've handled this transfer." It's safe to say that Klopp is pretty happy to have the Japanese star with him. However, the biggest work is still ahead of them. The talking is over, and now Minamino has to prove himself on the pitch. He actually started out very well, playing a solid match against Everton as Liverpool beat their biggest rivals with a combined 11, featuring Takumi Minamino, amongst others. The future is bright for Liverpool, and the 24-year-old Minamino could play a big part in it. He fits Liverpool in every possible way, and it's very likely that we will watch him light it up at Anfield for years to come.